Hey there guys, Spazzy Giant here, yay Syndromes, welcome back to Avorion. So, guys, I think I might have made a small mistake. So, one of the reasons why I decided to go with, spaceport generated ship designs, especially when it comes to the ships that I don't control, is simply the fact that they are ships that the game would generate in certain situations, and as we know, they are more or less capable of doing the shooty things, because that's what they do. The problem is, as you probably saw in the previous episode, when our combat ships were engaged with the enemy, they were constantly trying to not overshoot them, and I finally figured out what exactly happened. So one of the things that I did was bind my key combinations to be able to disable the dampener by pressing Ctrl F, like I'm doing right now. So this is with the dampener off. It means that I can just drift around without spending any actual energy on it, and when I want to stop, for example if I want to get onto a station, I press Ctrl F again, and it engages. Means that I have the ability to stop my ship whenever I want, but at the same time I can disable it so that I have no issues with my energy consumption. The problem is, I was way too optimistic in thinking that the AI on the ships knows how to do it. And that is the problem. So for some reason, I noticed that these ships are actually running around with... Okay, this thing hasn't enabled, but essentially what happened is that these ships were trying their damnedest to not overshoot the target. So, for example, this ship right here, the Vanceland's Dance, it was constantly doing these flip-arounds and retrograde burns just to not overshoot the target. And the same problem... Sorry, this is Vanceland's Dance. My bad. Yeah, he has them enabled. But, yeah, that is the current underlying problem with it. Okay, this one already does, and I had one more. Which one? Oh, this one doesn't have it at all. But yeah, it's the combat ships that I'm currently worrying about. The combat ships need to be able to be more controllable, and I have a feeling that in the end what's going to happen is that I will need to create the so-called just central spine of control mechanisms. And the best way I can kind of describe that is by, if we just take a iron hull like this, we make it very small, we extend it to the front of the ship, and then we just take our iron thrusters, something like this, and we just keep adding them, something like this. This is going to make the ship much easier to stop, but you can already imagine just what amount of energy this thing uses. Also, the ship itself becomes a lot larger as well. So, as you can see, we already are hitting our mechanic limits, we're already hitting our engineer limits, and our overall energy consumption has also went up. But yeah, this is the usual way that I build my ships, especially ones that had the engine bypass system, because this sort of thing allows them to stop very, very quickly. And I'm very afraid that that is going to compromise the visual kind of aesthetic that I'm going for. Or maybe not. You know, this still counts as completely exceptional. Sorry, not exceptional, acceptable, rather. And actually, before I forget, we're gonna tip this guy over. Yeah, just rotate entire ship. We're just gonna... Just... Nope. Just like... Nope. Let me just... Oh yeah, there we go. And suddenly looks much better. I don't know why, but it does. Just go figure. But yeah, so Today, I'm going to leave my mining ships to mine again, and I'm going to focus on rebuilding, or modifying a little bit, when it comes to our combat ships. So let's go. There's another thing I also noticed. I cannot have both ships assign a mining order at the same time in the same place. They have to be separated out a little bit, because otherwise they try their bestest not to ram each other, and that makes them terribly, terribly slow to move. This is just something that I noticed. So let's just fix that. Alright, ladies and gents, we have a new ship. It's going to be a mining ship, and its name is going to be Global Warming, courtesy of Peter Svedman. Welcome to the club. So the funny thing is, I really don't know how many other ships I can build. It looks like we are still... Okay, there we go, Neonite. So with this last ship, we have successfully hit our ship limit. Which is a good thing, by the way, that's the whole point. So this guy is going to help us strip mine every single system that we encounter, but we might as well give it the spazzy treatment now in order to allow it to kind of join us on our migratory period, as it's soon going to become, and I'm thinking I'm going to make this thing into kind of like a mushroomy sort of front, something like that. And also we're about to get attacked by aliens, but we don't care. Oh yeah, I probably really overdid, or really overdid it with the solar panel stacks. Well, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. Okay, gents, we have reached that moment. It looks like the system Mortal Force 1 has yielded no more results, no more resources, and it's completely useless to us anymore. And so, my friends, it's time to move on. But to where? Let's check out this place. Though, just for, you know, being safe, I'm not going to be taking the whole fleet with me, just in case there's some bad man there. Ooh. And no, it is not the bad men there. Instead, there's something much worse. Or something much better. It's a wormhole! Let's fly through it. This is gonna be terrible. Terribly beautiful. Where does it go? It goes somewhere towards the side, but towards the center of the galaxy. So I'm having a little bit of a deja vu moment here, because the last time a wormhole pretty much screwed over our sort of sense of progression. Obviously in this case it's not really going to be the case, because we're not trying to get to the center of the galaxy where we need to do all the missions and everything. The last time I used a wormhole, I somehow managed to slip over most of the mission encounters, and if I hadn't read the Wikipedia, I would have been in kind of trouble. So where am I? Well, I am most certainly much closer to the core. That I can tell you right now. The worrying part right now is that none of these systems are green. So none of these systems are populated by normal civilian installation factions, so slight concern? I mean, there's only one way to find out. It's time to jump in, and then jump out. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Okay, let's not go there. Frickin' pirates, man. But you can see how scouting with the drone is very simple. I can just switch back to the previous ship very, very quickly, which I kind of feel is kind of exploity, but, I mean, you know. Oop. This is not where we want to be. The only problem right now is that I'm not really gaining any resources, because none of my ships are currently mining. But I need to find a place for them to mine. The only question is it smart to bring them up so far towards the center of the galaxy? Yet. Ooh. Neat. Very, very neat. This is most likely a place where we want to be. Yep. Okay, let's move him in. Trying to escort these ships out of here is going to be problematic. If we are attacked during the kind of migration, it might be very problematic. What are you doing? You're heading out the wrong way. After this, I need to really quickly check if every single ship over there is fully repaired. Oh. Oof. See, this is what I was talking about. Not enough engineers. Why? I think it's because we lost our crew quarters, and yeah, 24. Let's just very quickly fix that. So like this. Having a few untrained crewmen is a very good thing. I'm very glad I managed to do that. Okay, okay. How do I want to do this? No. We are in uncharted territory, people. But at the same time, the regeneration rate of our hyperspace drives are actually good enough. So, I'm gonna do one thing right now. I'm going to be tagging this sector with a note that this is the fallback sector. It means that I know that there is no one here, and if something happens in the next mining area, I can jump my mining ships to this sector so I don't forget. "100%, 100%, 100%, 100, 100. Okay. I'm gonna switch to sector. And as we explore this sector with the limo, these peeps can already jump in. Lance Vance Dance, your orders is to attack enemies. You, global warming. You are gonna go mine. You, greenhouse effect. You are going to go mine. Skirt stake. You are going to be attacking enemies. Last but not least, D-Chunker. You are going to mine. And hopefully, as already noted... see? This ship has started mining this item. This ship is trying to mine the same thing, but it kinda is screwing with itself because it's trying to get around the previous ship. And that's not really helping. So I'm gonna try to separate all three miners. Or I could just let them do their own thing, I guess. That also works. Yep, and we have Neonite, which, incidentally, we cannot mine. Although, perhaps some of us can. I'm pretty sure that some of our ships did have a titanium mining turret on it. Because that means we can create a third combat ship that is going to assist us in trying to survive in this region. Frick.